residents of 5S St. Williams, and we were lucky enough to interview our groundskeeper and SES member, Mr. Meeker.
We have interviewed him about the SES, which stands for State Emergency Services, and how they help in recent floods.
Make sure to stay safe
and enjoy our interview about the SES.
And we have flatboat people who go in if it's flooded, like suburbs were. They would go in the boat and they would go and rescue people, because that's the only way we could. So if someone got flooded, we would give them sandbags and build a wall to divert the water if they request it. So they send through jobs either by the phone or calling 132 500. Have to think of the number, and then they log a job in our system, and then we get a message saying this person needs help. So they don't call SES directly. There's like 000. How you call, they have an operator, they enter in the details, and then they get someone to go to that place. And with SES, we're all volunteers, so we don't get paid. For me and other people, we just want to help the community give back, because some people have been affected by storm flood and they need something. But for me, and I know other people, we just want to help the community. We don't do it for the recognition, we don't do it for media, we don't do it for badges. We just want to help the community. I have to think about that one. I believe you can join at 16 with parent guidance, like permission. But 18, normally we get a lot of people who's at the adult age. So yeah, but you can join at 16. I started SES in I finished in 2017, went to uni. 2019 I started. I sort of remember the 2011 floods. And even my parents have said our house, we never get flooded, and this time we did, and we are high. Our street got flooded. So in my opinion, I think it has been the worst, because some places where it don't get flooded. So I believe it's the worst, without the dam being released. You have to remember 2011 was, I believe, with the dam being released, but the flood happening just from rainfall. So SES, because we're all volunteers, you do 6 months of rotation. So you can't do much, you just learn skills, and you have we have chainsaw operators, floodboat, storm damage, like all that, but you need to do courses to be able to be an operator in that, because the chainsaw is high risk with injury likely, but we SES want to train you up to be efficient and able to do the job properly. Like any organisation, we have worked out safety guidelines, so we need to do training. So we work with this flood. We worked alongside rural fire, swiftwater rescue, and surf life saving. So any organisation who have a boat, whoever's free, they assist. So with flooding, we use whatever resources we have in other organisations. I didn't. SES, because we do not deal with fires, that will fire and rescue. Because SES is more flooding and storm. But we did help with the community. So we were in the behind the scene comforting the community, and I believe we assisted with helicopters, with them getting water. So we didn't do fires, but we were in the background. Yes, comforting, but also welfare, like water and food, all that. Yeah. So with the dams, I believe this time they are doing more controlled releases at low tide, so it's not high tide and there may be flooding. So we get their address, their name and their phone number. So we call, if we don't get an answer, we call again. If it was a welfare, if they seem very stressed, we would go to the property, but normally they pick up on the first try. I'm a duty officer, so I deal with activations within my group, Metro group. That way I have two phones, I have my personal one and I have the duty officer phone. So I'm a trainer in courses. I'm a new recruit liaison, so I am the person for the new recruits to make sure they have someone to ask questions. I assist with training, and so I mean I do a lot. But all around. So with Creed's SES, we do have a chainsaw qualified operators, but with trees they have to be completely on the ground for us to chainsaw it. And if it's still rooted, we are not allowed to touch it because that's what our procedure is and that's our training, because we are not complete that job. We are all volunteers. We don't want to injure ourselves. So with trees, it has to be completely on the ground for us to be able to actually do something. It's sometimes annoying, but we have to follow what our process is. So with storms, if people feel like they want a tarp or they have a leaking roof, we go out and put a tarp. We cannot operate when there's lightning because of safety issues again. No one wants to be. We wouldn't build it back because we are not builders. Structurally unsafe, we would not go near it. We wouldn't because in floods, our main priority was people's welfare, not cars. Because we can't stop it. Saw someone stuck, and the car wasn't moving on the roof. If a flood boat was near it, we would rescue them. Any organisation would rescue people, but when it comes to vehicles or things, we don't not worry, but that's not our concern. We would obviously save them. If there was time and we couldn't, like the water was coming really fast, we would call in swift water rescue
Well,
because
higher people.
because they are trained, we are not. And we're volunteers, we would risk our lives for people, but we have to realise when it's unsafe for us. Every group, we have boats, we have ATVs, we have vehicles, we have trailers. So anything that will get the job done, we use. With the recent storms, all of our fleet and equipment were out. If we saw a house starting a fire, we would rescue the people, and then we would step back and let the professionals handle it. Because SES is the state emergency service, but we are all volunteers and we do have limitations. We'll try our best, but when it's unsafe, or we would call in the professionals because that's what they are here for. We would put it up on the trailer. We would secure it the best that we can. If we could not get there, they would say, "Hey, we can't," and then we would call Swift Water Rescue because they don't have to put it on a trailer. They can carry their boat. So again, we would just call the other organisations to assist. We all work as one. We all work together. With SES, you can go on the SES website and say become a volunteer. With Brisbane unit, there is sadly not a long wait time, but there is a wait list. because we have so many people wanting to join SES. Yeah, but the bad thing is about that, we are only volunteers. We only take in a certain amount because we know we can train them and we can do it properly. We split them out into all different groups and then that's how you do it. So everyone a leader, we have a group leader and a deputy group leader. Yeah. We have a structure of reporting like police, like fire and rescue. But you see, people have said to me that I'm one of the senior people and leaders because I'm good at what I do, I'm trained. So you become a leader by doing, not saying. Have interviewed me. We normally, if we're out in the field, we don't give interviews because we have to get approval, and normally if it's deal with police, we are not allowed. But yeah, we normally don't allow. Not allow interviews, but there's time and places where we may say yes and then we may say no. When there's disasters, there is new crews out. They are allowed to film, but we don't try to be noticed. Training, you have to be competent to do like chainsawing. You cannot be an operator, but we don't say no. We teach